hang up on high city, I've been feeling. I'm sorry, I feel no attraction, and now that it's been a bit. 'Cause I've been so long.
If you have kids, I'm sure that every single thing you do for them, you do while keeping their best interest at heart. You want them to be as healthy and happy as they can be. But parenting is certainly not an easy job. And no matter how hard you try, it can sometimes be difficult to avoid making some mistakes. Even though a lot of parents know their youngster the best, child psychologists have been researching children's development for decades and most commonly agree that some parenting methods can actually be damaging to a child's growth. Here are some common mistakes parents make that can be detrimental to their kids' development. Number 1, signing kids up for too many activities. Loving parents often want their kids to be smart, active, and talented. What better way to achieve that than by signing them up for a bunch of extracurricular activities? Football practice, guitar lessons, foreign language, and art classes. These activities are great for a child's physical, emotional, and social development. But the problem arises when there are just too many. Constantly jumping from one lesson to another while trying to balance school and homework can negatively impact a child's sleeping habits. It can also negatively affect their mental health as well, making them prone to depressive moods and making it difficult for them to cope with stress. But how much is too much? The answer is easy. Just listen to your children. Parents should be aware of how busy and stressed their children are, whether they express it to them or simply show signs. Also, follow the golden mean. Research published in Journal of Youth and Adolescence stated that children who were engaged in only a moderate amount of activity, compared to those with a larger amount of hobbies, had better results in school. By giving kids enough time for school, hobbies, play, and rest, parents can help them learn time management skills and relieve them of unnecessary stresses, not allowing kids to say no. Sometimes it seems like from the moment our little ones start talking, the word no becomes their most cherished word. Questions ranging from, did you want to eat your veggies? To, will you share your toys with your sister? Are often greeted with a loud and clear no. And most of the time, this answer is followed by a parent's anger and frustration. I'm your parent. You can't say no to me. Of course, teaching kids respect towards their parents is important, but letting them, moreover, teaching them how to say no might be even more important. If children are never allowed to say no, they might not learn how to gain confidence, how to communicate their boundaries, or how to stand their ground. This can become a big problem once they grow up to get into romantic relationships or start working. According to 2008 research on child development, while arguing with their parents by saying no, children could bring that attitude to relationships with their peers and practice standing up for themselves. Of course, the goal is to teach them how to say no politely and respectfully, which in turn could help them protect themselves, maintain identity, and develop a positive self-image. Number 3, comparing children to others. Have you ever asked your child, why can't you be more like your brother? Or perhaps your parents used to tell you, look how good other children behave. Comparing children to their siblings or other children is a trap many parents fall into, intentionally or not. You might think that this would motivate them to behave better, but being constantly compared to others could actually hurt their little hearts pretty badly. By comparing your child to someone else in a negative way, you are, in a way, telling them that some other kid is better than them. This can ruin your child's self-esteem from an early age. They may also think they're not living up to your expectations, which could make them think that you don't like them or love them as much as you actually do. What you could try instead is setting up realistic expectations for your children. Celebrate their strengths. And if they make a mistake that other children don't, let them know you love them regardless. Number 4, forcing children to eat. Did you have that one specific food that you simply hated as a kid? Did that food happen to be some very healthy vegetable that your parents made you eat, resulting in tears and screaming during dinner and threats of using humiliation as discipline? Maybe you've come across Facebook posts from moms and dads sharing their frustrations about their kids with hundreds of friends and relatives. How do I make my son clean his messy room? He never listens. Or maybe you've seen an angry parent yelling at their child in front of their friends. Shaming and humiliating children in front of others is one of those discipline methods that may seem appropriate in the heat of the moment, but should actually be avoided completely. As stated by Andy Grogan-Kaler, an associate professor of social work at the University of Michigan, shaming a child or making them feel degraded leads to all kinds of behavioral and emotional problems in the future. Children who are shamed in front of their friends can feel embarrassed, cry in shame, and repeat the same mistakes because of the nervousness they feel. This way of dealing with children's bad behavior can also make them become socially anxious as a result of the shame they feel, and they can become depressed or aggressive as a result. It can also set them up to be bullied in school, as well as lose trust in their parents. So when your children choose to misbehave, it would be best to take them aside and have a private conversation. By doing that, you can help strengthen your relationship and keep your child's dignity untouched. And number 6, praising a child's intelligence rather than hard work. Did you get praised about the work you put into studying, or only praised on the perfect grade? Not many things in life make a parent more proud than seeing a big red A on their child's school report. Naturally, the next thing you'd want to do is praise them. You did such a good job. You are so smart. There's nothing wrong with praising your children, of course. But focusing your praise solely on their abilities rather than their hard work can actually be bad for their future motivation and beliefs. American psychologist Carol Dweck thought about this in her mindset theory, where she connected praise, achievements, and motivation. According to her, praising children only for their intelligence leads towards the creation of a fixed mindset. When a child with a fixed mindset fails at something, they tend to think that they're not smart enough to succeed. They may become less motivated to try harder and get worse results overall on your kids' efforts. But if you focus your good job, you must have worked very hard. Those kids will believe that even if they fail, they can achieve better results if they try harder. They're motivated to keep pushing and learning, and they tend to do better at school. So it's best to keep that in mind the next time your child brings home a perfect
There's no such thing as a perfect family.
Do you relate?
Parents may often think they're doing what's best for their child because they love them, but those actions may not always necessarily be healthy. As children grow up and reach their teenage years, this is usually when things take a turn for the worst. Arguments may be frequent, misunderstandings increase, and parents will begin to wonder what happened to the sweet child they used to play with. This is a concern commonly experienced, and we want to help be a part of the solution. Here's 8 effective ways that can strengthen parent-teen relationships. Number 1. Hug each other on a daily basis. Psychologist Janet Kiecolt-Glaser states, "The older you are, the more fragile you are physically, so contact becomes increasingly important for good health. When you enter your teenage years, you may be reluctant to hug your parents because it's no longer considered to be cool. As you learn to be more independent, you may keep physical affection to a minimum. However, hugging is good for your health and acts as a natural stress reliever. Approaching adulthood can be scary and challenging. When you hug your parents on a daily basis, it can act as a physical reminder that you're not alone. Physical and emotional support are equally important when you work on fortifying relationships in general." Number 2. Turn off technology devices during interactions. It can be hard to walk away from technology when we are constantly connected by it. You don't have to live in a cave to save your relationship with your parents, but it doesn't hurt to put your phone on silent so you don't feel obligated to respond to every email or text message when you're interacting with your parents. When you're in the car with your family, it's also good practice to turn off the music so it gives you an opportunity to talk. Although music can be a great way to bond by singing your favorite songs together, on bad days when communication is vital, it's good to stray from using technology as a means of escaping from one another. Number 3. Connect before transitions or large decision making. Making transitions can be challenging, especially in your teenage years. This is the time when your child begins to figure out who they are and what kind of life they want to live. A lot of decision making takes place. There are going to be many days when they are uncertain about what direction to take. Don't hesitate to reach out and let your child know you are there for them. Give them advice and any insights you think will be helpful to them, but don't tell them directly what to do. Have them figure out what they want to do, but be supportive and understanding. Number 4. Make time to spend quality one-on-one time with each other. As you get older, more responsibilities tend to stack up on your plate. You start working more to build the skills you want for your desired career path, and your friends move away to chase their own dreams. You're no longer in close proximity with them, so you have to schedule compatible times to see each other. This makes it incredibly easy to put your family on the back burner when you're already juggling work with your social life. But don't forget to set aside time to spend quality one-on-one time with your parents. It can be extremely tempting to postpone plans when you may just want to be alone to unwind for a while, or go out and engage with new faces in your networking circle. But this is how parent-teen relationships weaken. Distance is created, and putting in effort becomes minimal to none. Sustaining a strong relationship with your parents can be difficult with increasing age, but ghosting them easily destroys it. It doesn't have to be a lot. You can spend 15 minutes each day to have meaningful conversations, or set aside an hour during the weekend and make dinner together. Number 5. Encourage emotions instead of shutting them out. Emotions are messy, but it's important to be mindful towards each other's feelings. Don't be quick to dismiss them, especially during arguments. Regulating your emotions can be difficult when you are strongly affected by a situation. But keep in mind that a strong relationship is built upon the ways in which we communicate our emotions. If your child is hurting, don't be neglectful towards them. Even if the both of you have a hard time talking about the source of pain, emotions can be only put off for so long until they explode. Number 6. Listen to understand, not with the intent to react. When you're mad or disappointed in your child, it's easy to listen to them just to confirm your angry emotions. Instead of being quick to react, take the time to listen and understand where your child is coming from. Even if you wholeheartedly disagree with their actions or opinions, if you choose to yell at them, this may cause even more resentment between the both of you. As a result, communication may suffer because your child may retreat and refuse to speak to you. Learn to work out your differences by broadening your perspective and finding a solution together where the both of you can benefit from. Number 7. Respect boundaries. Toxic behavior derives from getting rid of boundaries. If you want to have a good relationship with your child, manifest healthy behavior by respecting their boundaries. This can be challenging on your end, as your child begins wanting more privacy and freedom. But good parenting involves providing opportunities to make mistakes and learn from them. Don't rob your child of that growth. Instead, create a safe space where failure is normalized. Part of loving and caring for someone means letting go when it's necessary. This is how trust is built. Number 8. Catch your child in the act of doing something right. Teenagers often struggle with their self-confidence. It's important to recognize that peer pressure can ruin your child's self-esteem because popular beliefs aren't always the healthiest or most nurturing. Don't add fuel to the hell they're trying to walk through. In other words, refrain from expressing harsh criticism and negativity. Instead, focus on the deeds your child is doing right and praise them for those actions. Not only will it show that you have been paying attention to them, but this will also help
to some
boost
of
their
these points as a
self-esteem.
parent? Let us know in the comments down below. Or maybe your parents made some of these mistakes while you were growing up. Even if that is the case, the take-home message is simple. There's no such thing as a perfect person. No such thing as a perfect parent. Finding ways to better yourself every day, learning as you go to avoid mistakes, and most importantly, giving your kids unconditional love is all that matters in the end. Feel free to like and share this video if it helped you or you think it could help someone else. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell for more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching and take care.